Hi there! Want to impress your guests with the ultimate Halloween showstopper? This black velvet cake is rich, dark, and absolutely unforgettable. Stick around and I'll show you how to create this hauntingly beautiful masterpiece, from making the cake from scratch to frosting a square cake perfectly and adding the final decorative touches. I will walk you through it all. Alright, let's dive into this enchanting creation. Line two 7-inch square baking pans with parchment paper for easy removal after baking, and preheat the oven to 160 degrees Celsius while we prepare the cake batter. Prepare some hot water in a jug and add in the instant coffee. Give it a quick stir to let it dissolve completely. Once that's done, add the black cocoa powder to really release its deep, rich flavor. This step will make our black velvet cake extra bold and delicious. Now sieve in all-purpose flour, baking powder, and baking soda over the mixing bowl of a stand mixer. This helps to aerate the dry ingredients and gives us a smoother batter. Remove the sieve, add caster sugar, light brown sugar, and salt into the dry ingredients we just sieved. Attach the bowl to the stand mixer and start mixing everything on low speed for about 30 seconds. This will make sure the sugars and dry ingredients are fully combined before we move on to the wet ingredients. Next, roughly make a well in the center of the dry ingredients. Then pour in the oil, 2 eggs, vanilla extract, and the buttermilk. This combination is going to give the cake a wonderfully moist and tender texture. Mix everything on medium-low speed until the ingredients are well combined. You will want a smooth, even batter, so take your time to make sure everything is fully mixed together. Now turn the mixer down to low speed and slowly pour in the black cocoa powder and coffee mixture. This will give the batter its deep, rich color and flavor, perfect for our Halloween cake. Turn off the mixer and scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl if needed. This ensures that all the ingredients are fully incorporated for a smooth and even batter. The cake batter is ready. It has a silky, thin texture that's slightly runny, which is perfect for achieving that tender crumbs we are aiming for. Next, divide the batter evenly between the two prepared baking pans. This ensures both layers bake up consistently for a beautifully balanced cake. Bake them in the preheated oven for about 34 to 36 minutes or an inserted skewer comes out clean. Let the cakes sit in the pan for about 10 to 15 minutes, then carefully remove them and transfer to a wine rack to cool completely. Add a pinch of salt to the icing sugar and mix well. This little touch will help balance the sweetness and enhance the overall flavor. Beat the butter in the stand mixer on medium speed until it becomes light and fluffy. This probably takes around 3 minutes. Gradually add the icing sugar mixture in a few additions, roughly beating well after each one to avoid it flying everywhere. Stop the mixer to scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl, ensuring everything is well mixed. Now stop the mixer and gradually add the black cocoa powder little by little. Roughly mix it with the butter mixture using a silicone spatula. Then turn the mixer to low speed and beat until fully incorporated before adding more. Once all the black cocoa powder is fully incorporated, add vanilla extract to enhance the flavor. After a few minutes of beating, I noticed the buttercream is just a tiny bit on the stiff side. Let's add a half teaspoon of milk to achieve my desired consistency. There's no right or wrong consistency, it's all based on personal preference. As a rule of thumb, if the buttercream is too stiff, add a little milk. If it's too runny, simply add more icing sugar. Now your buttercream should be light and fluffy, spreadable, and able to hold its shapes perfectly. I have my cake turntable here to simplify the decorating process, and I will be using a cake board to make transferring the cake to the fridge easier. Place a non-slip mat under the cake board to keep it from moving around. For a very neat and flat top finish, we need to trim off the top of the cake. Spread a small amount of frosting on the cake board to help stick the cake in place. Hold the knife horizontally and keep it steady as you turn the cake. Trim off the top to level it. When you reach the cutting point, continue slicing across the center. The top should come off easily. Repeat the same process for the second layer. If this is your first time, it's best go slowly for a small adjustment. If you have been following me, you know that I love using an ice cream scoop to distribute the frosting because it makes the process much easier and neater. Use an offset spatula to spread the frosting as evenly as possible. Place the second cake layer upside down on top, making sure it's perfectly aligned to create a straight line. The flat bottom of the cake will help create a smooth surface. Now we are going to crumb coat the cake. Scoop just enough frosting on top and smooth it out across the surface. Then gradually spread the excess frosting towards the edges, covering them with a thin layer. Add more frosting if needed. The goal here is to seal the crumbs, fill all the gaps, and hide any imperfections. Since this is a square cake, when you reach the corners, make sure you have a little extra frosting on your spatula to create sharp edges. Gently smooth the frosting with a light touch, working carefully to maintain clean, crisp lines as you turn to the next side. Don't worry too much at this stage, as we will smooth it out further in the next step. Use the edge of the spatula to tidy up the excess frosting on top by gently pushing it inward towards the center of the cake. Each time before tidying up the frosting, wipe the excess off the spatula on the edge of the bowl. Once you are done, place the cake in the refrigerator to chill until the frosting is firm to the touch. For this step, it's helpful to have everything prepared: a well-chilled cake set on the turntable, buttercream frosting in a piping bag, an offset spatula, a dough scraper with a flat side for smoothing the sides, and a bowl nearby for easy cleanup. Start by piping a layer of frosting on top of the cake. Gradually spread it into an even layer using an offset spatula, pushing any excess frosting towards the sides as well. The goal here is to cover the entire cake with frosting and add more as needed. Once the cake is covered, take the dough scraper and hold it at 45 degrees angle to the sides of the cake. With a very light hand, sweep it smoothly along the side. When you reach the corner, gently pull the frosting away from the cake to create a clean edge. Then make sure the dough scraper has a clean surface for the next sweep. Rotate the turntable 90 degrees for the next side and repeat the same process. Continue until all the sides are smooth and the corners are sharp. Now the sides are starting to look pretty good. Apply a little more frosting to fill in any holes or imperfections for a flawless finish. Once you are satisfied with the size, you can smooth out the top. Take the offset spatula and glide it over the top of the cake, starting from the edge and moving towards the center. That's it. Knead the fondant for about 1 minute to soften it before applying. Dust a little icing sugar into the mold to prevent the fondant from sticking. Press the knead fondant firmly into the mold. Trim off the excess with your spatula and slightly roll it gently to make it look neat. Bend the mold to remove the shape from the cavity. Dust the skulls with edible tints to give it a more realistic look. Once you are happy with them, place them on a flat surface to prevent them from changing shape. Alright, I'm about to start decorating the cake, but feel free to get creative and decorate it however you like. I hope you will enjoy watching the process as much as I enjoy creating it. Let's have some fun with this design. I hope you enjoyed this video and will give this recipe a try. Head over to the link to get the full recipe. Don't forget to like, share with your friends and family, and leave me a comment to tell me how you are planning to celebrate Halloween. If you enjoy baking as much as I do, I would love it if you subscribed to my channel for more. Your support really means a lot to me. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen today, and I will see you all in my next video. Happy Halloween! Bye!